Welcome to the second episode of the EarningsBoard Report. This is a podcast where we take a deep dive on our website and various investors. Today, we are so thrilled to have the number 2 ranked investor, the man, the myth, the legend. It's Yates Investing from Twitter. This beast of a trader has close to 100,000 followers and is known for some insane plays in callouts like BYFC, IBIO, and BOXL. Many people even believe that this man has a psychic instinct when trading stocks. With all that said, how is the great Yates doing today?
Dude, what's up, guys? I'm doing pretty good. But I just wanted to say thank you for letting me join. And I also wanted to say that I really enjoy and love what you guys are doing here. I think it's something absolutely great for the community and something that a lot of people are going to look forward to. It's going to be like any other podcast. They're going to be looking forward to this because it's something new and it's something so different that nobody's done. But yeah, I love it. I love the idea, guys.
Oh, well, that sounded very scripted.
What?
Thank you, thank you so much for that. That means the world to everybody at the earnings board.
Dude. Bro, like y'all make me start over, man. Like,
We are also joined today by my co-host Ethan, and my name is Matthew. Now, before we get into any of the serious topics, we have to talk about your hats, right? You posted on Twitter an image, or on Instagram, an image with 6 hats with your logo on it. Why do you need that many hats, and how does this help you with investing?
Dude, it actually doesn't help me whatsoever, but I just love hats in general. I have a guy who makes me hats, and I follow him on Twitter, so I'm kind of giving him a shout out. But it's tack__6, and he makes me all this merchandise. But really, our whole main concept of these hats, we were gonna do a fundraiser type thing for charity. So we have not done it yet, obviously, but it's something that we're planning on, and we're trying to figure it out without all these repercussions of the laws and all that blah 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 stuff. But yeah, I just love hats in general.
It's a very nice thing to do for your community. So I also saw that you had a picture on your Instagram of you wearing a Yates Investing shirt. So is that like a whole like merch line, or what's that up?
I had a 1,000 shirts ordered before COVID, and I really wanted to just do them as a giveaway, but they kind of didn't come in at all. So I basically lost all my money in that situation. So I do plan on getting more. I just don't know when, but I'm also going to give them away as well.
Sounds like those t-shirts were a bad investment.
Horrible investment. Probably one of my worst.
So go ahead, Ethan.
So your following has skyrocketed in the recent months on Twitter. What do you contribute your insane amount of Twitter followers to?
So really, like, this is like really mind-boggling to me. I never expected to get so much of a following so quick. I've been trading for a while, but I haven't came onto the Twitter scene until recently. But for me, I personally think that a lot of people kind of relate to me since I still work a full-time job and I still do the things that a lot of uh, you know investors are doing. But I try and do the absolute best for my followers. It the more following I get, the more I want to succeed and be successful, not only for myself but for them.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you really do have a lot of followers. 96,000. That's absolutely incredible.
Actually, I want to congratulate you on that note for 97,000. I think it was like this morning. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
3,000
insane.
away, guys, from 100, and I never thought that would happen.
Compared to many other popular investors, you post fewer stocks. How has this limited number of stocks helped you?
So this is kind of a simple question, but kind of not at the same time. Uh, for me, it's more of I want to focus on a few plays rather than going all crazy on all other kinds. I've noticed myself with the more money you get, the more stocks you tend to invest in. But I like to keep it smaller so I can just focus completely on what like what those stocks are, and really it's also a profit situation. The fewer stocks that you have, the more profit you could possibly make. So that's one of the biggest things for me. It's like Hugh Henney always says, it's he has his 80 to 20 risk to reward, and or his reward to risk, and I love that. Like I think that is just brilliant. So I kind of go on the lines of that as well. But for me, it's just focusing on few plays and profiting more while doing it.
Yeah, I can totally respect that. Just not going in a million directions, just really doing DD and heavy analysis on a few stocks and making sure that all your risks are managed for those few. That's
Exactly,
incredible.
exactly.
So you've posted numerous times about stock ticker IBIO, and your name on StockTwits is even IBIO_Yates. How did you learn about IBIO, and what is your current strategy with this stock?
So iBio is a stock that I am absolutely dearly in love with. I found it around February because of the whole COVID situation. I was looking at stocks that had to do with pandemics, and iBio was actually a stock that had to do with pandemics. So for me, I restarted researching this, and it was at I think it was at around 24, 26 cents when I first found it. My first initial buy-in was actually 26 cents, and a lot of people are focusing on iBio for this vaccine, and that's not even the case. I bought into this company because of what they can do as a contract manufacturer. They can produce so much and so many vaccines that it's unreal to me. So for me, it's about them becoming a CDMO in the future rather than them making a vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, IBIO is just blown up. They reached highs of more than $6 from the original 30 cents. That it's just exploded. It was a
Yeah,
huge return percentage.
yeah. I can't even think right now. I think I was over 1100% on it on the year, and still it's still up there. It's still like I don't even remember. I'd have to look, but it's like 400% up still from the beginning of the year. So people are over here like, it's tanking, and I'm just sitting here looking, and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm sorry, it's having pull offs and sell offs, but I can't help that.
Yeah, I mean, every stock, obviously, when you have a big boom, the market will obviously correct itself a little bit.
Exactly, and this is a stock that they they, they are folk like they're not going to give fluff news because they done that in the past and they got in trouble with that. So they're going to make sure that their news is perfect. And that's one thing a lot of people don't want. They don't have patience, and that kills people. But I have a ton of patience for iBio, and it's a stock that I plan on sitting on for years to come.
Well, that transitions almost perfectly into this next question. And
Exactly.
yeah, so what is your favorite long term play? Is it IBIO or is it some other stock?
No, iBio is for sure my favorite long term play. And like I said, this is a stock that I compare to Moderna. I compare to this stock to Moderna, and I'm actually a huge Moderna hater, but it's just because they have so much hype for not doing anything. iBio is different. They're going to become a great CDMO because of Tom Izzet. Tom Izzet is the factor here. He's going to make them great. And this is why it's my favorite long term play for years to come.
Wow. I mean, yeah, IBIO definitely seems like a good play, at least for now. I'm not sure about long term, but I guess we'll see. So, my next question is, when did you start investing and how has investing changed your life?
So I started investing in college, and really, I had a lot of, you know, I've always been drawn to investing, or well, to the stock market in general. I I've always was intrigued by it, and it's something that I never had the extra money to throw into it. But in college, I kind of saved up some money. I actually kind of got some money back from the college in loans. So I was starting to play the stock market and starting to, just figure it all out on my own. But for me, this everybody gets into the stock market for one thing only, and that's to make money. And of course, that's one of the biggest things to change your life. But I would say the biggest thing that the stock market has changed in my life personally is the relationships with friends that it has brought me. I've met some of my closest friends now in the stock market, and that's something that I'm going to hold true and dear to my heart for the rest of my life. I talk to these guys every single day. We strategize, we try and find the best possible plays, and that's something that I love. I just love it.
Yeah, I think that everybody can agree that making money is a good thing. And wow, you've definitely done that. I've seen a lot of your posts and about your profile, and you've definitely made a ton of money.
Yeah,
It's totally amazing.
this year has been great. It has, it really has. It's been wonderful.
So many stocks that you post have massive pops and they rapidly increase, right? They skyrocket. What is your selling strategy when this happens? If you do
So
sell?
yeah, so the thing is, it's all going to depend on what stock. You know, most of my plays are swing plays, so I don't really sell them whenever they pop off because, and don't get me wrong, as soon as I tweet something, it's going to go up a little bit. It always does. It's just how it is. People don't, they don't do their own due diligence. They just go off of what you say. And that is not the way to trade at all. And I can't help that. But for me, I focus on these swing plays. I make sure that I have a catalyst involved and I wait for that. How many times have you sold a stock and then the next day it blows up? Why would you sell something when you know something's coming? It just doesn't make sense to me. So my selling strategy really is to scale out of plays. And that is my buying strategy as well. I buy and sell and I scale, in and out of everything. And I think that's the best possible outcome and the best possible thing to do in the stock market.
Yeah, I mean, scaling in and out of plays, they really manage your risk well, and that's a huge part of investing is
Exactly.
knowing when to take profits and how much you should put into a stock.
Yep.
So 2 days ago, you posted about Tesla, and I think this is the first time you posted about Tesla, and you're finally ready to ride the Tesla train. What are your plans involving this stock?
So actually, I bought Tesla. When was it? It was around a thousand stock price, and I sold because it popped. But for me, the whole split was like, oh, okay, I got to get into this right now. I think that once Tesla splits, I think that a lot of people are going to see, this smaller price target, and they're going to be like, okay, let me go buy this. I can finally afford it. So now we're sitting in here, and I think it would have been like $300 if it did if I whenever I invested, but they see that $300 mark and they're like, okay, I'm buying this. I can actually afford it now. I know what Tesla's about. They have Elon Musk. The guy can't fail. So for me, it was easy buy, just because of the fact that I know what Tesla does. I know what they can do, and I know that they're going to be a great company for a very long time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if I could just invest in Elon Musk, I would do that. Everything he
Exactly.
touches turns to gold.
And I see the comment he's an alien all the time, and I kind of actually believe it. So I don't,
I mean, maybe he's trying to go back to his home on Mars. Who knows?
dude, he might be.
So, what brokerage do you mainly use to invest?
All right, so I use two, and I use TD Ameritrade with the Thinkorswim app as well, and then I use Webull. And I use these kind of separately. I use Webull for scalps and swing plays, and then my TD account has a lot of my long-term plays. And I think, well, the hours for both of them are just unbeatable. Aftermarket and pre-market is just such an important factor in trading. So those are the two main ones that I use.
Yeah, I know. We all like using Webull. Um, we would definitely, besides the OTC stocks, the after hours is just so amazing. You can
Yeah,
essentially wake up whenever, and then boom, you don't have to wait for the market to open. You can
exactly,
already be
exactly.
trading.
And you could always get that horrible offering news after hours. And what are you doing if you're on, for instance, Robinhood? You can't even sell, and you're just sitting there like next day, down 40%. You're
Yeah,
like, oh, I
or
wish I would have had Webull or TD Ameritrade.
yeah, or I mean, especially with Robinhood, I mean, they crash every other day. I mean, I would hate to be holding a stock. It just keeps going down, and you're like your stop loss doesn't even activate. That would just be terrible.
I try not to mouth about Robinhood just because of the fact that you know people are investing still. It's something that they're trying to better themselves. They're trying to help their families, but it's still the fact, man. Like Robinhood's so bad. It's so bad. Like you got to change.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, right? More people
Yeah, yeah,
investing, the more
for
it helps
sure.
all of us.
So I'm not gonna mouth completely because I'm glad they're actually trying to help themselves.
Okay, so does your strategy change when dealing with penny stocks or OTC stocks or like blue chip high cap stocks?
Okay, so I don't really play much blue chip stocks. I'm more of penny stocks and occasionally OTC stocks. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Penny stocks, I'm gonna say this. I think that I'm probably the most risky trader on Twitter, and I don't typically teach that. I try not to actually, but I'm just so used to being risky that it's hard to get away from. You know, I'm not scared to lose money, but at the same time, it's made me a lot of money. So why would I change something that works? But for OTC stocks, you have to be smart. You have to be smart. Every penny counts in that, you know, and you have to be making sure that you scale out of OTC because you don't want to get stuck in OTC. You know, it's super risky, but there's such a big window for reward that it's unbelievable. I've seen people make hundreds of thousands of dollars this year off OTC stocks in less than like 10 minutes. And you're just sitting there like, wow, okay, this is crazy. But it's still the riskiest thing to trade.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I actually have a Webull account and a Charles Schwab account, and my Webull account is my main position, but in my Charles Schwab account, I have a smaller position just used for trading OTCs because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that they're so risky that I don't want any chance of them touching my main portfolio. I
Hmm.
mean, OTC stocks, like you can if there's one good piece of news, if there's one good catalyst, it can go 10x.
Exactly. And on OTC stocks, I focus on the only way I'm going to get an OTC stock is a trend. That's the only possible way. If I see if I see a possible catalyst coming, I see news coming, I'm going to get in. But it's got to be a hot sector. The share structure has to be strong, and that's the only way I get in OTCs.
Yeah, definitely. So many people are just now getting into investing, right? COVID,
Yes.
happens, people are staying at home, and a lot of people
Exactly.
are really getting into penny stocks and other stocks like that. So for those people who are just getting into investing, but they don't really want to do it full time, they just want to do it kind of on the side, not take up much time of their life. What do you think is the easiest way to make a profit, but still managing risk?
So I this is okay. So I've been teaching a lot of younger kids about trading because I think it's super important. You know, they're the future generation. They need to learn. But taking profits is single handedly the biggest thing for new traders. You are going to lose, and there's no ifs or ands or buts about it. It's going to happen. All traders lose. But if you're taking profits, your profits are going to add up. It's going to add up. You're going to make, your account's going to keep growing, keep growing. And the biggest thing that I've seen with new investors, they don't have, you know, they don't have a plan before they invest. So before the trade even happens, you have to tell yourself, is this going to be a short-term play? Is it going to be a swing play? Is it going to be, a week, month, year? You need to know this. You have to be thinking ahead of time on every possible outcome. Because I get questions all the time like, man, when should I buy? When should I sell? Like, guys, you have to plan ahead. And I see a lot of traders who do what they call is a style drift. Uh, they have different techniques of trading, and it's like they go from one trend to the next, and you're just sitting there like, you need to just figure out one thing. One thing. I've noticed this with all big traders. The one thing they have in common is they specialize in one thing and they become great at it. And I think that's extremely important.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, there's a few things that new traders, really have to remember. Like not beating yourself down too much when you take a loss,
Exactly.
right? A lot of investing isn't just being good at investing, but there's a good portion of it that's luck, right? And a big thing is just don't beat yourself down too hard, and just be ready to move on to the next trade. And also, I mean, everybody should know this, but don't go on r/Wall Street bets. Those guys don't know what they're doing.
Dude, no doubt. Like, you have to keep track of what works and what doesn't work. I think that's what makes you learn. You want to do what works, and that was something for me. Like, I found something that works. Why would you change something if it's working?
Yeah, I completely agree. So, when you are evaluating a stock and whether to buy it or do whatever you want with it, how much do different aspects of the stock, like the fundamentals they have, like their revenue, their profit, the orders they have, and other metrics like the volume of the stock and also the hype around the stock, how does that weight in to your decision to buy the stock?
So honestly, for me, it's a risk to reward type of thing. Fundamentals for me, they take a back seat because I'm a trader, and I don't I don't really focus a lot on that. I'm a trend trader. I focus on the catalysts. I focus on hot sectors. But don't get me wrong. Obviously, balance sheets, clean balance sheets, zero debt and the PE ratio and all that. That's great. Of course, it's great. You want a strong structure in the company. But I also focus mainly on what's hot. So for me, it's a risk to reward. You know, Obviously, I'm trying to make money. You know, you're trying to win more than you lose, and that's just how I am personally.
Definitely. I know we like to aim with catalysts, right? I think um, if it has a big catalyst, then we usually invest in it, and we do look at fundamentals and metrics a little bit, but catalyst plays are, I think, the best overall risk to reward ratio.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that's why I love bios. You have the FDA calendar here, and it's pretty much telling you what's going to happen. Why wouldn't I get in before? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
easy money.
So, what stock has the biggest position in your portfolio right now?
So for me, it would have to be iBio. I think that I have around 120,000 shares in my long-term account, and I have about 20,000 in my scalp account. So it's definitely iBio. I would say that AT&M is actually second, even though I'm kind of upset about that one, but it's still second most. But iBio definitely is my biggest holding.
Damn,
That would make
there's that
sense.
name again. IBIO. You heard it here, folks. IBIO going to $1,000.
So, how many
I don't know
stocks?
about all
How
that.
many stocks do you have total in your portfolio?
So like I said, I like to keep this small. For my long portfolio, I think I have around 8, and then for my short plays, I got 4 currently, and I would say majority of those are bio plays. That's something that is super intriguing to me. It's something I have a passion for. It's something I love. So of course I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, so far we've talked a lot about what stocks you like, your different strategies, but let's get into a little bit more spicy of a topic.
Yeah, here
Let's
we go.
talk about IDEX. Yep, we're talking about Ideonomics. You were one of the
Man.
first people to shout this out. I think you said it was going to go to like $5 or $10, something like that. Do you still believe in this company? And what is your opinion on Hindenburg Research?
So Ideonomics, I still have a pretty big position in this, but it's in my long term. Honestly, I don't even look at this stock. I'm focused on the future. A lot of plays, I'll throw to the side and won't even look at it. And people are always questioning me about it, but I get so much crap for it on Twitter. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let it play out, do its thing. I'm not worried about it. It's something I do believe in. I really do. What caught my attention on it was the EV sector when it got hot. They're all in it. And whenever I was reading, I think it was the Chinese government, they were paying people to switch to electric vehicle companies. And I was like, okay, so this is definitely the company that I want to be in. And they have multiple businesses. And a lot of people give them crap because, they've been they changed their name so many different times. Well, guys, look, we have Amazon here, we have Apple here. These guys have changed their model, their company around. They failed so many different times before becoming successful, and that's the way I look at Ideonomics. They're just around so many different things that I'm just like, how can they possibly fail? And their management is just it's crazy. They have some of the biggest people in the world managing them. But I definitely do like their business opportunities that they have. They have EV, obviously, financing, their blockchain, mining, tourism, all this stuff, and people don't realize it, but they're kind of manufacturing their own vehicles now. So for me, it's definitely a long hold. I know I get a lot of crap for it, but that's because I hate to say it, but a lot of people like to buy high and sell even lower. That's just kind of how it is. You're not gonna win everything.
Yeah, I mean, you did buy Ideonomics really low, and you were like one of the first people to shout them out, and they did pop a lot. So I'm sure
Yeah,
there's lots of people out there who did make a ton of money off of that play.
yeah. I actually had a guy who messaged me about it, and I kind of just shrugged it off. And I think it was at like 20 cent, and I was like looking back on it at 60 cents, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, I wish I would have listened to him. And then I got a starter at like 62 cents. The next day it was at $1.05, and I'm just sitting here like, oh, okay, well, all right. So then I added my full position, and went from there.
Yeah, I think you even tweeted a few days ago that the Ideanomics revenue like 10 or 100x since last quarter, but their stock price has actually gone down since then. And that's kind of insane.
Well, you got to picture in the whole fact of COVID. You know, nobody's revenues are going to be extremely high. You know, and I think a lot of people are kind of forgetting that.
Yeah, definitely the stock market has taken a beating with COVID, but who knows? COVID might go away soon.
Oh, probably after election. Okay, let's go.
Okay, now let's end off with your current favorite play. And since we've talked about IBIO so much, let's not talk about IBIO this time.
All right. All right. I'm not going to talk about IBIO, but I'm going to talk about FBIO, Fortress Biotech. This is actually stock that I don't really want to go deep into because I kind of want people to go research for themselves. But they do have PDUFA coming up, guys, in October, and you know how that is. That's always a hot commodity. So for me, they're a company that has a great pipeline, and I've actually looked into this financials. It's not bad at all, but I'm definitely going to hold this for quite a while. Really, I plan on holding it to October, but this is definitely a play that I'm excited for.
Well, I definitely will check out FBIO. I'm sure a lot of other people will, and we'll see if there's another great by Yates.
I hope so, man. I really do.
And with that, I think we're going to end off the podcast here. Thank you so much, Yates, for coming to this. This means the absolute world to us. We're still growing, and your participation has helped us grow so much. So I would just like to say thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I really do. This has been fun, and I can't wait to watch because I just feel like in a couple months you guys are gonna be like crazy big, and I really do mean that because it's just something so unique. Nobody's doing this. So a lot of people are gonna take their time and go watch.
Well, thank you so much for that. You know what I'd like to say to everyone? See you guys next time.